Hello, welcome to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. So I'm gonna elaborate from my previous video where I talked about what men notice when they see a woman, okay? And I'm gonna tell you the 5 top things men notice the most in a woman, okay? Especially if he finds you attractive, these are the things that he's paying attention to, okay? I've seen it myself, so I'm telling you this from experience, okay? And I'm also telling you from what I've heard, okay? I do have older brothers, so, all right. Anyway, so number 5, okay? It's not in really any specific order, okay? I didn't really write it down in any specific order, but I'm just, thinking off the top of my head. Okay, so number 5, your toes. Okay, your feet. If your toes are not exposed, they're looking at your shoes. Okay, so just as much as women look at a man's shoes, they're looking at your shoes as well. Okay, and I've seen it plenty of times. Okay, especially if he's well dressed. Oh, sweetie, he's gonna take a look at your shoes and see what you got on. Okay, is she wearing Jordans? I don't do that. I don't talk to them women that wear the Jordans, okay? A lot of them judge women based upon her shoe game, okay? If you have open toe shoes on, you better make sure that your toes are did because they are looking at them toes, okay? If you have open toe shoes on, make sure you have some polish, make sure you got a pedicure because they're looking at your feet, okay? And if your feet is looking crusty, turn off, okay? Okay, number 4. The 4th thing a man notices is your hands, a woman's hands, okay? Always paying attention to a woman's hands, all right? They love women's hands, right? Because obviously they have the opposite of what our hands typically look like, right? So their hands are more masculine, of course, and rough. And then women now, they like the soft hands, manicure, nails done, not too over the top with the nails, just something more subtle where it just looks like a daily thing, like you're not doing too much, but your nails are done. Like even if you have like a basic manicure, simple nails, your real nails, with some polish on it, clear nail polish, whatever the case may be. But your nails are they are paying attention to those nails, ladies, okay? So go get your nails did, okay? As I said, like it doesn't have to be fake nails because, I get nail extensions, I do my real nails, whatever. But I'm just always making sure like my hands are tended to. I put on some oil, some hand cream. And that's another thing. If your hands are looking all dry and crusty and dusty, no. Okay, so make sure those hands are well moisturized, looking soft, looking nice, looking feminine. Men love that, okay? Add some jewelry, add like a ring here and there. Add like a little bracelet, just feminine jewelry products, and that catches their eye, okay? 3, the 3rd thing that men often pay attention to when they see a woman is her hair, okay? Men like to see, depending on what type of hairstyles they might be attracted to or find amusing or interesting or whatever the case may be, they often pay attention to your hair. They look at your hair, like what kind of hairstyle does she have? Some men probably prefer real hair, I don't know. Some don't care as long as your hair is looking nice and neat and polished and look like you gave your hair some attention, you wash your hair, you take care of your hair, you go to the hairdresser, you go to the hair salon, whatever the case may be. But they definitely pay a lot of attention to your hair, okay? Especially if it has like some volume, you look like you wear some hairspray, right? Yeah, so, if you have on a bonnet or whatever, do you, okay, do you. But I think wearing bonnets and hair ties outside is lazy work, okay? And a man is gonna look at you like you're lazy and you don't take time and effort or make time and effort into your appearance, okay? So, and just as much as we don't like lazy men that are broke and don't have any money and don't put effort into getting money, it's the same way a man doesn't like a lazy woman who doesn't put effort into how she looks, okay? Just waking up out of bed, throwing anything on, and stepping outside, that can be a turn off to men, okay? Especially if he's, if he has it himself, or he knows how to dress, or he dresses well and very clean cut. He's gonna expect the same in the woman that he's attracted to. Okay. So number 2 is your aroma. Okay, your smell. Are you smelling nice? Are you smelling like some expensive perfume? Okay, that feminine, expensive. It doesn't have to be too expensive, but just like that girly, feminine perfume. When you walk past somebody and they get a whiff of that perfume, and you're just like, ooh, girl, like, what perfume you got on? Like, send me the link, So they definitely pay attention to that, okay? When they smell a woman, and I think they almost wait for it too. Like, I wonder what she smells like, And then when they smell that perfume, that fresh, girly, feminine perfume, okay? Yeah, all right? Like, you smell good. Like, they'll tell you too, oh my gosh, you smell great. What is that? What is that you have on? It smells great. And you can tell them if you want. If you don't want to, whatever, just say, my little secret, or if you want them to buy you, because some of them would even offer to buy you the perfume, but when they get a whiff of that sweet perfume that you got on, girl, irresistible. Okay, irresistible. All right, so if you are looking good and smelling good, you get up, you shower, wash your face, exfoliate, whatever you got to do to keep yourself fresh, okay, smelling good. Obviously wear some deodorant, body spray, whatever, oil, some like natural oils, that smell really herbal, have that herbal essence type of smell. But whatever the case may be, even if you have like a signature smell, whatever the case may be, just wake up, get clean, throw some perfume on, and just step outside in the world, okay? That's another thing that will also make a woman really confident, is wearing your favorite perfume and getting a whiff of your perfume, okay? It's a great feeling. So imagine when you're conversing with a man and he smells your perfume, okay? Irresistible. They love that, okay? And then the number one thing that men pay attention, okay, so the number one thing that men pay attention to, and I think it's number one. I could be wrong. If you have another opinion, that's cool, But for me, I believe the number one thing that men pay attention to when they see you for the first time, or when they see you at all, even like society on a whole, is what you got on, okay? What are you wearing? Because your outfit speaks for you before you do, okay? Usually what we feel inside about ourselves is how we get up and get dressed and present ourselves to the world, okay? Now, I know it's very judgmental. A lot of people like to say like it's people, or it's not good to judge people based upon what they're wearing, but it's not even about judging. It's about, okay, well, if you could wear something like that, what is that saying about you and your character? Right? So if you want to appeal to the world in a certain way, you're going to make sure that you're looking the part, okay? So if you're wearing like a head tie and a bonnet And I mentioned this before: bonnets, head ties, jogging pants, no makeup, just nothing, looking like you just rolled out of bed and put something on quick. People take notice to things like that. Okay. Even when I see a lady or a woman or a girl with a bonnet on, I'm just like, oh, she must have just rolled out of bed. She don't have anywhere to go today. She must not have anything to do today, walking around with a bonnet. Okay, that's what people are thinking. All right, especially adults, if they see a woman just like dressed like anything, they think she has nothing to do. Okay, when you dress like you're going places and have things to do, obviously, like, that's what people are going to assume, that you got places to go to. You're important, right? Usually if a woman is dressed up, looking nice, wearing makeup, they feel like she's important. She has places to go, people to meet. All right, so we have to understand that it's important to take pride in our appearance, especially as women, as ladies, take pride in your appearance. Make sure that you are looking well kept, getting daily facials, moisturizing, getting your hair done, even if you do it. So make sure that you are taking pride in your appearance as a woman. Okay, it's very important. It does determine, unfortunately, it does determine how people are going to treat you and what people think about you. And if you are not putting any effort into yourself, people might treat you the same. They feel maybe they don't have to put any effort into you because that's the way you treat yourself. Okay, how you treat yourself is how people are going to treat you. So always try to make sure to look your best. Okay, anyway, what do you guys think about this video? Share your opinion. What have you guys noticed that men pay attention to when they see a lady, a woman? Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think, and like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.